The North American Free Trade Agreement has stayed pretty much unchanged since it was signed 25 years ago. But that's about to end. During his campaign, Donald Trump called NAFTA the worst trade deal maybe ever signed anywhere, promising to majorly overhaul or scrap it entirely if elected. Now renegotiations are underway, and no one's really sure what the new deal will look like. Trump's views on trade with Canada have flip-flopped in the past few months. First, he told Mexico's President Peña Nieto that Canada was no problem when it came to NAFTA and trade. But months later, he railed on Canada's dairy industry, saying the regulations were unfair towards American dairy farmers trying to compete. He also slapped tariffs on softwood lumber. The US wants to reduce its trade deficit. That's when a country imports more goods than it exports. To solve that problem, it would have to either boost its own exports or lower how much it takes from Canada and Mexico. NAFTA also allowed American companies to do their manufacturing in Mexico, where labor was cheaper. Trump now wants to bring those jobs back to the US. He also wants to axe the panels that help solve trade disputes, which have often ruled in Canada's favor. Unsurprisingly, Canada wants the dispute system to stay put and make sure current protections for the dairy industry remain. Chrystia Freeland wants to add chapters on gender equality and Indigenous rights, as well as revamp environmental protections and labor standards. She also wants to reform the chapter that allows companies to sue a government over regulations. Canada's also gunning to expand government procurement and make it easier for professionals to get visas in the US. Mexico wants to protect its auto industry. If Trump brings auto manufacturing jobs back to the US, of course it would mean fewer jobs in Mexico. It also wants more access to American and Canadian markets, especially when it comes to agriculture, telecommunications, and financial services. Leaders have set an ambitious timeline for talks. They hope to have a new deal wrapped up by the end of the year. But even if they make that deadline, the agreement could take up to 12 months to ratify, pushing it closer to the 2019 election. And if 1988 is any indication, the deal will likely shake things up.
I happen to believe that you've sold us out. I happen to believe that once you...
Mr. Turner, just 1 second.
Once any
you
nation...
do not have a monopoly on patriotism. And I resent the fact that your implication that only you are a Canadian.